there is one theme common and evident throughout all of this entire Red Dead 2 playthrough, more than almost any other theme so far, and it's sad, it would be animal cruelty. I'll explain in a bit. This is Sweetfish Plays. Alright, ladies and gents, you have once again locked into my channel. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and once you see the hot content about to come your way, make sure to drop a like and keep that conversation going down below as well. So something has been brought to my attention that I have clearly neglected for a long time. And that is the sad health of my horse, of my current horse, Thief. We just did a cross-country trek, essentially, with John Marston to revisit all 9 graves of our fallen comrades, as well as kind of checking in with a lot of old friends and acquaintances from the Vanderlinde camp. So it was over 6 hours of content stretching over the last 3 videos, and we really went across not necessarily the entirety of the map, but a lot of the bigger and more important portions of it. We visited places like Valentine, Coulter, Rhodes, Saint-Denis, Annisburg, all the way up north to the Grizzlies, all the way out east. And multiple times I meant to feed my horse and take care of him, and I just never did. I guess I was so focused on keeping my own cores up. That goes to show you the depth once again and the difficulty of Red Dead, how you really have a lot on your plate to balance at any time. But man, the horse cruelty, not necessarily animal cruelty as a theme in a lot of my streams, but horse cruelty for sure has been far more prominent than I would hope. I swear I'm not doing this to my horse on purpose. Good Lord, poor Thief. Before we do anything in this stream, we're gonna feed Thief. So, yeah, obviously, and I need to try and remind myself throughout this stream to keep that up. Less upkeep of myself, more upkeep of Thief. Poor guy. We'll feed him a couple times here to make sure. So our trek was successful, other than locating Tilly Jackson and Saint-Denis, which we were unable to do.
Okay, partner.
So that got a lot of side stuff out of the way for us. If you are watching this video and you haven't seen those parts, it's 78, 79, and part 80. That covers all of the graves and whatnot. So if you're looking for locations for a certain grave or something like that, hopefully you can find some aid in those videos. I thought we did okay. I thought it took a little bit longer than what I was hoping for, but it's done. It's out of the way. My plan now is to really retire to the Blackwater region and really the New Austin, the state of New Austin, which there's still a lot of unexplored territory. I just want to kind of focus on everything that we got going on in this new state down here for now. We already have our story mission with Uncle back at Beatrice Hope. That's our current homestead. That's our current camp location. So that'll be a good place for us to start. I just saved and quit at the end of our last video, so we're way up here in the middle of nowhere. So it's going to be a little bit of a trip, a little bit of a trek. To get back to the Blackwater region. We're going to hit this Albert Mason mission on the way. Albert Mason is really the only outstanding stranger mission still ongoing at this time. Chain Gang is still ongoing as well, although there's still a little bit of mystery behind how and when this will continue here in the epilogue, so I'll definitely keep my eyes open for that. But I wanted to take those 3 videos, get all that stuff out of the way. I said we probably won't be revisiting some of these places. Perhaps the story might take us back to some of the cities that we visited in our trek. But there was just a lot of like side stuff as well that I wanted to get out of the way. Down this way, like bounty missions, bounty poster missions. There was one in Rhodes, there was one in Saint Denis. We got those out of the way. Albert Mason had a mission way out here in Saint Denis, so it gave me a chance to do that. And like I said, as well as visiting all the graves and kind of catching up with those who are actually still alive. It's not many, it's a dwindling number, that's for sure. This is Epilogue Part 2 that we are in right now. There are still a handful of story missions left for us, so don't think that the content for Red Dead is ending in the immediate future, per se. Because the last 3 videos that I did were very exploration-based, and they were also 2 hours long. That's obviously really hefty to get through.
Relax.
So I'm hoping that this video can be a little bit shorter to kind of balance things out a little bit. Maybe we'll just do the Albert Mason and the Uncle mission and just kind of focus at chopping away at these story missions kind of one at a time, kind of like we did at the end of Chapter 6. I kind of cleared up all of the side stuff that we had outstanding at the time, anything that I wanted to do, and then just kind of focused on pounding out main story missions. Jesus. I am underweight, so I need to make sure that I'm taking care of my horse and myself, obviously continuing to take care of myself. I think I've done a better job in the last few hours of eating, taking the time to go to a saloon and eat and sleep. This Albert Mason mission, I think, is in the vicinity of Valentine, so it might be worth a trip to Valentine, maybe first, before we see him, to re-up everything. That'll actually give us a chance to go to the stables, too, and then we can do a horse care package for Thief, which should get all of his cores back to 100%. I don't believe they are right now. I was able to feed him a couple times, but I think Thief could use a touch-up, and then we'll just kind of maintain him from that point forward. I don't think there's any other stops that I would need to make. So basically, saloon and the stable. Last time we tried to sleep at the saloon in Valentine, though, we were unable to, if I remember correctly. We had some difficulty. I think that was in part 78. It's a lot. Like, sometimes you get so into the game itself, and you kind of forget to take care of yourself. It's not like real life where we're all stuck in a house all day and basically all we can do is eat and sleep, am I right? Boy, that is all too relatable right now. I'm sure we can all relate to that. Still have a ways to go. We just actually passed, that cabin that we just passed by was Hamish's old cabin. Now there is a character that I talk about quite often. I had a real fondness for Hamish. I think Arthur had a real fondness for Hamish. It's kind of sad passing by his old cabin. Just another fallen comrade. And of course I already missed one of my turns. Oh no. We can take this path as well. I updated the bio on my channel, so if you want to get a good snapshot of me and the channel going forward, definitely check that out. A lot of perspective to my way of life. Just go have a look. It might be worth a laugh or two. I think it's the About tab on my channel. Check it out. Oh, he's helping helping that horse.
Head up.
Nah, maybe I should help the guy. It's really, really teaming Rain right now. Is that even a word? Is teaming even a word? That's the real question.
Just my luck. Whoa! Hey, whoa! Now you got to be kidding me!
I got you, bro.
Can you help me get my horse back? You folded on.
I don't even see your horse, boss. I might as well help the guy. Can't dance. Oh. Now that is a jump. John Marston with the 10.0 jump there.
Hey, got you. You're an angry one.
Jesus.
Nothing you can do.
I have a little bit of experience with lassoing, I guess is the right word. I never, forget it. I have some experience catching horses with Arthur, not so much with John. We haven't had to do a lot of it. One aspect of the game that I haven't really explored is that of catching wild horses, and I'm sure there's specific locations that you can get to access certain kinds of rare horses. I know that they have a multitude of different breeds throughout the game. But I've just kind of found horses or acquired horses through various sources, either stealing horses or being gifted horses. I think I did buy a horse once, but never really took a lot of time to catch wild horses.
I can't tell you how grateful I am. I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing to offer you in return, but I'll make it up to you one day, I swear.
That's all right.
A lot of random encounters throughout the world that we are still coming across now. A lot of them we've done. A lot of them we've helped people in similar situations. There's a good variety of random encounters throughout the game, so that each task, each person that you come across, it really is truly a unique task most of the time. But we have done a lot of them. That was a new one though. I don't think that we've done that one. All right, let us continue. I was more inclined to stop closer to the beginning of the game, to stop and really help everybody. I spent a lot of time really taking my time with things.
Hey, partner.
I pass by a lot of stuff that I come across now. Like I said, a lot of it is kind of like been there, done that, so there's no real need. I guess that you can increase your stats as a character, your honor, etc., can be increased through doing these things. I think my Deadeye just went up a little bit as a result of helping him out. So it can be beneficial for you that way, but if we had stopped for every little thing in this game, we'd probably still be on Chapter 3. I mean, let's be honest. This is obviously not a 100% run through of the game. Just my first, so don't have to see and do everything per se. I do like to help though, and they do make them most of the time interesting enough. Most encounters, even stranger missions,
Whoa, easy.
There's that blind dude again asking for money. Most of the activities in this game as a whole are intriguing enough that you don't lose interest. And like I said, there's such a large variety of things to do. You know, if you get tired with one thing, you can just come back to it later. Like if you're tired with hunting or doing missions, you know, there's something else for you to do. We have had many a strange encounter in our playthrough. Speaking of wild horses, there's a wolf looking for dinner. That wolf has poor taste. Horse meat? Ugh. Not that I've ever had it or plan on trying it, but...
Mister.
Could you really eat a horse? I guess dog is a thing in some cultures, so I guess horse ain't that bad. Couldn't imagine eating my dog. Good God. Dogs are family. End of story.
Hello there.
Cats? Eh. No comment. I don't want to alienate my my cat-loving viewers. So this is Valentine. Not the typical way we enter town. Typically we're coming from the south to enter Valentine most of the time. So it looks a little different. We're just behind the main street right now, so might as well hit up the stable first, and then we'll look after John. Enough of looking after John. It's Thief's turn to be looked after. The Albert Mason mission should not be too far.
You got a problem here?
So, that Albert Mason mission, that stranger mission, Arcadia for amateurs, one of the parts is only available to play as Arthur Morgan, so we actually skipped a part. I believe it was part 3. This was also brought to my attention. So if you're wondering why we may have skipped from Arcadia for Amateurs Part 2 to Part 4, which is what we did in the last part, I believe, when he was photographing the crocodiles, that explains the jump. One of them part 3 can only be played by Arthur, so, you know, if you're doing this mission as John instead, it'll just skip that part.
Got some room in the stable here. I'll give you a fair price.
So we have $633. Thief has been good to us. We're going to get him all cleaned up and fed. It's sad because obviously I've been taking my horse for granted for the last little while, and that's definitely not a cool thing, and I do apologize for that for sure. It's not cool to be neglectful of an animal like that, but we're going to make sure Thief is well taken care of here. We'll do the horse care package. Looks like my horse is still a little dirty. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get the horse cleaned here. I'm going to max out food that I have for the horse.
Nice.
It's very cheap stuff. I already have horse medicine. I'll buy some potent horse medicine and some more horse reviver, just so that going forward we are well stocked up. I got more than enough stuff to feed him with. Some nice treats with peppermints and sugar cubes. And then we got the good stuff for him, the carrots, the hay, the apples. So they do have one racehorse for sale, the American Standard Bred. I believe I've owned one of these before. I think I've owned the Hungarian Half Bred too. The Dutch Warm Blood, I don't know that I have ever owned this horse. Typically this is a $450 horse. It's on sale for $337.50. It's a nice jet black color, so to be perfectly honest with you, I might go for it. It's considered a workhorse. That's a war horse. And that is a racehorse. You can see the difference in price is obviously based on the level of the horse's cores. So if we have a look, you know, it says stable, buy horses. It lists all the horses. Just underneath the list of the 3 horses you can buy, there are 3 circles. That obviously, I hate when the NPCs talk in the background when you're doing stuff like this, especially at stores. So annoying. You can see the 3 cores there: stamina, the health, and then the other one represents the bonding level, 1 out of 4. I have previously stated that you can go higher than a level 4 bond on a horse. That is not true. Obviously, you max out with your horse at bonding level 4. But if you get a horse like a Dutch Warm Blood, it's already starting out with good stamina, good health, and the more that you bond it, it's just going to get better. I would actually rather have a race horse or a war horse over a workhorse like this one, but given the price, the cores, that kind of a thing, and the potential of this horse, I like what I see. So we're going to purchase this. This is probably one of my biggest purchases in quite some time, and now we'll keep Thief at the stable for the time being anyways. He has earned his dues, and we'll keep him stabled up, and we'll use this guy. So it's a Dutch Warm Blood. The fact that it's a Dutch Warm Blood, maybe I should give him a name based on Dutch. You know what I like? Instead of Dutch, I like Clutch. I'm the worst when it comes to thinking on the spot. If you ask me something on the spot or catch me with something on the spot, I'm the worst kind of person just thinking on the spot in general. And let me tell you, I'm proud of these names that I've thought of on the spot for my horses so far. We've had Doll for our Dalmatian horse, and 101, who was a follow-up to that horse that also looked like a Dalmatian for the 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, we had some good ones.
Threat to ranchers these days than the
we have Thief now, obviously, and Clutch. I mean, so Thief right now basically has the same cores as Clutch, but Thief is maxed out right now. Obviously, I just had him taken care of, and also he's bonding level 4, so he's grown over time and gotten better in these categories. That's what I'm saying. Clutch is starting out where Thief maxed out at, and he's only got room to grow from here. So, well, I love the color of the horse, very unique. I won't do too much to customize it here. We'll dabble with a couple things. This is the first horse that we've bought with just Dutch. Thief, obviously, we stole, so this is really going to be John's horse, Clutch. And that way it'll remind him of Dutch every time he says his name. Also, big difference between Thief and Clutch. Thief has a $3 sell price. Clutch has a $225 sell price. So that'll tell you right there the difference in the horses and what they have to
I've lived
offer.
here my whole life.
So let's upgrade
Seen this
Clutch.
place go through hell and back, and I wouldn't change a thing.
What we actually have to do here is we actually have to... Okay. Yeah, I just transferred the saddle over. That's fine. I already have my own custom saddle. I think it just kind of carries that over.
You're gonna want a saddle that fits for you and the horse. That Skinner gang? About as ruthless as they damn well come.
So I don't know if I actually own any of these saddles or not. Or any of these options for saddles or not. Yeah, we do. Okay, that's what I figured. I like what we have already so far. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into this. We bought our new horse. There's not a whole lot we can do. We can go through... I mean, just like most things in Red Dead, there's like endless amounts of customization.
That's the same one I used too.
That's the one that we have right now. I'm honestly good with what we got. So without further ado, let's introduce Clutch to the world.
I can't prove it, but the bank's stealing my money. I swear, every time I
There's a butcher right here, and another thing that I've been neglecting for a very long time is these hides, these pelts on the back of my horse. We should.
Evening.
No meal is complete if it don't got meat. I never forget a face. This is your first time here, right?
No, sir, it is not my first time here. Nor do I have very much to sell you. Oh, we got some big game meat. That's good because if we're out in the wild, we can cook that up. I don't want to sell him that. It's only 75 cents a piece. That is highway robbery. Well, we got a good cougar pelt. $3.75. That'll almost pay for all of the apples and food items and stuff like that I bought at the stable, minus the horse reviver and stuff. So that's good, and it just gets it off the back of the horse. Because if I were to die,
Come on, ladies. This sirloin will put a
or
smile
my
on
horse,
your face.
left behind or whatever, there's just a chance of losing those pelts. So might as well do something with them. That was a good pelt too, and Lord knows I haven't really had too many of those throughout the game. Looks right now like that Albert Mason mission is only going to be available during the day. So no better time to have a quick rest. Uh-oh.
Welcome back.
Someone's being hanged.
Took 3 innocent lives, and for that, the law demands that you shall pay with your own.
Please let me go.
Do you have any last words before you meet your judgment?
I wish I could kill him. Don't take my baby. Oh, God.
Give him hell!
Look at him swing.
The tragedies like this in our community. Justice prevail today.
Why? Don't you look at him, boy. Just run home.
Jesus, and then everybody just leaves the scene like nothing even happened. that's who's crying. She's only a young girl. That's actually really sad.
Get away from the gallows, you hear?
Sorry. Man, I wish there was something that I could do for her. That's really sad. That's a helpless situation. There's probably some way we could have intervened. I imagine we could probably shoot the rope or something like that to get him down, but then we'd have all the law of Valentine, which is probably not much, but it's enough coming after us. So that's a darker side of Valentine that, I mean, I don't really think we've seen anything like that in Valentine before. We've had fights. I don't want to say that we haven't seen a darker side to Valentine, because Valentine is like any place. It's going to have its dark side, but that was, I guess, capital punishment. The death penalty is a big thing during this time. Strange that they did that at night. I don't know if that's a common practice. And that's like a permanent gallows that they have set up there too, so it'd be interesting to find out how often they do that. Or how often they have to do that.
Hello there, mister.
You ain't worth two shits. Whole damn lot here. Hello. You worth one tree.
This place is a lot busier than the last time I was here. Mostly because it's night now.
I shot 19 of once. Well, buffalo.
Don't you bother
I'll just have a
yourself.
beef stew for now.
Redskins killed. But they deserved it. They weren't Christians. So I sent them to hell. They weren't Christians.
I played a hand
So
or
I
two with
sent them to
Bars
hell.
open quite good. Could learn a thing or two from her.
All you fools.
Hello, mister.
100% there's got to be a way to sleep here. I'm probably just stupid. There is 100% a way to do that. Usually there's like a services list.
Wild West no more around here. Ain't nothing. Nice. More goddamn America. More goddamn China.
Maybe my memory is not serving me correctly here. That's okay. For the most part, we've read up. I think we're just recently coming off like a 17-hour sleep or something like that. We could ride out back to our homestead and do the Uncle mission first, and then try and ride out for the Albert Mason mission in hopes that it would be daytime by the time we do that. It is just a little bit of a trek. I feel like we should probably just hang out in Valentine for the time being.
How do you do?
Let's we'll skip the Albert Mason for now, and we'll head right to Uncle. Whoops. It's actually been a while since we've been back. We just bought this lovely new ranch. Uncle helped us set it up. I think time elapsed ended up being a couple months. And then we just abandoned it. We just abandoned it for a couple weeks and abandoned Uncle there. Lord knows what we might be coming back to. Could you imagine we come back, Uncle's burned the place down? If anyone would do something stupid like that, it would be Uncle, probably getting drunk or high and inviting all of Blackwater over for a party. I wouldn't necessarily call Uncle one of the more responsible parties coming from the Vanderland gang, but he's alive and breathing, and that's saying something for a former member of the Vanderland gang. when all is said and done, there really weren't that many compared to what we started with. One guy that's come up in mind most recently for me is Reverend Swanson. He was a fairly sick individual who really didn't have much other place to go other than you know, taking shelter with us. He was troubled. I wouldn't necessarily call him a sick man. He was a troubled young man. Maybe not so much a young man, a troubled man. And I could have sworn I read somewhere that there's a random encounter with Reverend Swanson, so I don't know maybe if it's something that I missed, or if anybody has any background information on what the story is with Reverend Swanson. I would be more than happy to hear it, to read it. Yeah, I was so excited to explore all of New Austin and all of that area west of the Blackwater region. So excited I decided to explore the rest of the map instead. It'll be nice to have some new areas to explore once we do start heading out into New Austin a little bit more. Crazy that this late in the game there can still be new areas. It's refreshing, at least. I could probably just sleep when I get back to camp if Uncle doesn't start the mission as soon as I get back there. Oh.
Calm down, fella.
This is why we don't travel in the forest at nighttime.
You'll be all right, mister.
Oh. Oh, I saw that bird. I thought it was the wolf. They are hot on my butt. Man, that was a close one. Wolves are obsessed with me. I don't know what it is, but I lost count of the amount of times an angry pack of wolves has tried to attack and eat me. So this must be the rail station. Yes, that's right. Riggs Station. Can never remember the name of it. That's when you know you're getting to Blackwater. Riggs is kind of in between Strawberry, Blackwater, and Beecher's Hope.
Good boy.
Beecher's Hope, Horseshoe, Overlook, Shady Bell. The names for all of the camps are quite grand.
Howdy.
So it's dawn right now. You can see nighttime is starting to dissipate, and that sun is starting to shine its beautiful rays on the plains of the American frontier. Being a workhorse, I imagine stamina is likely going to be the defining characteristic of Clutch. I wouldn't expect speed to really be at the forefront of his skills. I think you'd be looking more for a racehorse for something like that. I'm happy with my purchase. See if Uncle maybe has an opinion on him. I've also had a real tendency, a real trend in this game to buy male horses. There are female horses, as far as I know, but also, as far as I know, I don't think I've ever owned a single one. I think all of my horses have been male. I don't know if that makes a difference in certain cores or how that might impact the potential outcome of the horse, but...
Hey, now.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's a cougar or something. Oh, shit. Holy Christ. Oh man, that was a close one. I did not expect that. Holy crap, he got me good. He actually got me really good there on my right arm, and he got me kind of across the face there too. If John, this controller is a little bit busted, so he keeps moving on me, but you can kind of see his face. You kind of see the blood on the back there. Damn. The pelt that we had on our horse was a cougar pelt. I'm not going to take him. You know what? We'll actually get some meat from him. That could be beneficial. I'll try not to wait 3 months to sell the pelt this time. No need for me to do a lot of hunting with John unless it's just for sport, for fun. It's not like I'm trying to feed a gang or anything anymore, but you know, if something's gonna jump on my back and try and eat me like that, you best believe I'm taking him down. This one's only a poor pelt. The last cougar pelt we had was a good pelt, so big importance for bonding your horse is the whistle radius. So obviously,
Over here.
by pressing up on the D-pad, your character will call to the horse. If I'm standing on that hill in the distance there, John or Arthur would whistle. The more you press it, the more he whistles. If you hold it down, he'll do like a long whistle. Fun fact, if you actually whistle too much, he'll get out of breath and he can't whistle. But the higher you bond your horse, the further away you can whistle for him to come. And that's always a tough thing about changing horses, is that, you know, I'm so used to being level 4 bonding with a horse where I can whistle, you know, miles away and it'll come and find me, which is handy, obviously. But when you're only at level 1, that distance is not nearly as far. So we got some work to do with clutch. I was trying to equip a long arm, like a rifle. Oh, here it is. To pull out quickly so that I could take the cougar down, trying to do it from the top of my horse before I got kind of bucked off there. All I was able to do was equip the Lancaster. That's not even the gun that I was trying for. I was trying to get my shotgun quick so it would be a one-shot kill. Who is that sitting with Uncle? You know what? I don't even want to know. I was trying to do a one-shot kill with a shotgun, ended up with a Lancaster in my hands. Now I'm on my ass off the horse and had to make quick work of him. Thank God I didn't die. That was a close one. I don't like this. Someone is here with Uncle on my property. You can see John kind of limping after taking a beating from that cougar. Good detail.
Feels like old times. It's good to have the old gang back together again.
Let's just hope things don't turn out like last time.
There he goes. What'd I tell you, Charles? Boy is as sour as weak old milk. No wonder she didn't stay with you. Not even a retired $2 whore would stay with you. That's the goddamn truth. Now, you used to be decent company, but now you're worse than a snake with a toothache. All he does is whine.
Excuse me?
Oh, don't get all angry. It ain't gonna change nothing. You're hopeless. And I mean that literally. You got no hope. I mean, look at you. Look at this place. Your dream home. I've had better nightmares than this dream. Oh, darling Abigail, I've changed. Come live with me in an outhouse I wouldn't ask my worst enemy to take a shit in.
What are you trying to say?
It's awful. It's a dump. The house has gotta go. Get some self-respect, you miserable sack of shit. Build a house a lady'd set foot in.
Place just needs a woman's touch.
It needs leveling. No woman would touch this place. Now, I reckon these horses can have it down in a minute. Here, come on. Tie that end around the horses. You loop that end around there. Horses will pull it clean down. We good?
I think so.
All right. Well, let's get going. Now just pull.
Uncle's got all the jokes here. He's convinced that, you know, we're miserable and depressed and don't have our priorities straight here. So he's saying we got to rid of this and build something that a woman would set foot in. And I think he's giving good advice here. He's being really blunt and straightforward. But I think that you know, John does need to realize you know, there is some truth to what he is saying, and this is just one more step in John being able to have Abigail and Jack back with him. Let's see how this goes.
You got this, John? I'll go when you do.
Okay. On me. That's it. That's it. Got it.
That's a lot of weight on the horses.
I told you it wouldn't be no trouble.
And now?
Now we head into town, buy ourselves a house right out of a book. Same as if it were a bicycle.
Where in town?
There's a fella by the train store. Cakes hardwood and timber.
Okay. You keep working here.
But if I don't go with you, who's gonna tell you
Just
that?
need a bit of peace and quiet from your incessant yapping. Charles, make him work. Whip him if you have to.
I completely forgot that we had obviously kind of rendezvoused with Charles, and he was helping us out back at Beecher's Hope as well. That's who's sitting there with Uncle. When I rode up at first, I was like, oh no. At first, to be honest with you, I thought it was Dutch sitting there with Uncle, and I thought there was going to be real trouble. And then I thought, no, there's no way that Dutch is just going to be sitting there having a social hoo-ha with Uncle. So Charles and Uncle are going to continue to work here, probably clean up the mess of our now collapsed cabin. He has suggested that we make the trip into town to purchase a house. So you buy like a pre-designed house from I think it was Cake's Timber and something like that. It's some sort of a hardware store of sorts. So we're gonna go there and try and invest in a new house. Hopefully, I have enough money. We still have this bounty poster mission that can help us get a couple extra bucks. I imagine this is probably gonna cost us something, no? Before we do that, though, that was able to kill some time to reset the time here, so we're able to have a young day to work with here, so that we can ride up to Albert Mason and complete this mission and get the next part of Arcadia for Amateurs out of the way. And then on our way back from that, we will stop in Blackwater. John kind of needs somebody like Uncle Charles to kind of set him straight, because I think he's been hearing these things from Abigail for a long time, and you know, when you're only hearing things from one person, you tend to shrug them off sometimes, but it's good to have friends around to also help guide you in the right direction. I see there being two goals here. I see there being the goal of obviously reuniting with Abigail and Jack and getting that back in check. Can't remember if we start the first Red Dead off with Abigail and Jack or not, so it's hard to say whether or not that is something that we'll see before the end of this game. But then the other goal is killing Micah. You know, obviously Dutch plays a role in the original Red Dead, but Micah not so much. I believe we'll probably have the chance to shoot at least Micah before all is said and done here. It's only just after 7 o'clock in the morning, so lots of time to ride out here. He's just a little bit south of Valentine. Once again with our wildlife photographing friend, Albert Mason. This ought to be fun. This is part 5 now of Arcadia for Amateurs. Yes, I said amateurs, not amateurs. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato, schedule, it's all the same. Yeah, hopefully this video is a little bit easier to digest. Hopefully this is like a watch before you go to sleep kind of video. The last few parts at over 2 hours apiece. In fact, 2 of them I found funny. They were each exactly 2 minutes and 14 seconds, or within 2 minutes and 14 seconds of time. Like, they were so close to each other in time, I thought it was funny. Those are more like put you to sleep length videos. No, I'm just kidding. No, you definitely want to set some time aside for videos like that. I really try not to have long videos like that too often, but sometimes when it involves a lot of kind of open-ended exploration, you know, they can run a long time. And I didn't want to do 8 videos to do all the graves and have it all short and split apart. It's not really my style. Albert should be just a little bit further up the path. Don't think we have too many parts of this stranger mission left, and then that'll that'll be it right now anyways for current Stranger missions, now that we were able to finish Marco Dragic last time as well. Man, here's another beautiful environment. Not only this nice grassy field that we find ourselves in, but you can see the Grizzly Mountain landscape in the background there as we look kind of northwest. That's more the Grizzlies west than it is the Grizzlies east. The Grizzlies east is looking more out that way, and it's kind of hard to see behind some trees and whatnot there, but this is a really beautiful area. He's around here somewhere. The ability for Rockstar to convey this beautiful world, I mean, it's incredible. Like, when it's a nice day in Red Dead, you can feel the warmth, you can feel the beauty and the breeze, and I mean, today we have this beautiful blue sky, and everything about this is just so beautiful. Locked up in your home because of COVID-19? Just play some Red Dead. Just play some Red Dead. Your cabin fever blues will dissipate sooner rather than later. Look at this. Holy mackerel. There's Albert's horse. He's just to my right here. Just trying to get an idea of the area around here. Look at this. Oh, man. That's another example of a beautiful hidden gem of a spot in this game.
It's almost like I'm flying. Mr. Mason.
Oh, Mr. Marston.
You want to be careful up here. This land can be real treacherous.
Sure.
Real treacherous. I've been here before.
Have you?
Yeah. Funny how things turn out. Ain't never how you expect, is it?
No, I don't suppose it is.
What you shooting?
Eagles. You know, the images, they really are beautiful. All thanks to you. I'd be some poor creature's bad meal by now, many times over, but for you.
Yeah, so I believe, but move back from the cliff edge.
I'm trying to get an eagle.
They're beautiful, but unlike you, they can fly.
Too true. You really must think I'm a buffoon, don't you? You think I'm such a dimwit I'd just slip off the edge of a cliff?
No, but, well, maybe a little.
Please, sir. I'm dense, but not that dense. This area is quite safe. Quite. Oh!
And there he goes.
You were right. I am that much of a buffoon. Give me a hand, please. Put me out of my misery.
Come here.
Oh, dear. Oh, thank you. You know what? Bugger the Eagles, I'm going home. You know, I really did get some amazing pictures, thanks to you. And somehow, I haven't quite broken my neck.
You take care.
And you too, sir. Sorry for all the trouble. Oh.
So that was a little bit more of just of a conclusion to the Arcadia for Amateurs string of stranger missions. That is likely, anyways, the last time we will see Albert Mason. That actually was a pretty fun set of missions. There's been so many memorable stranger missions. There's so many memorable characters throughout this game. It's hard to pinpoint even a couple favorites. They're all very unique and cool in their own way. I'm glad that we got to see through one set of stranger missions as John. You know, I'll remember those missions because that's the set of Stranger missions that, you know, I did with John. And we finished the Marko Dragic stuff with John, but most of that stuff I had done with Arthur. Just like that, we've already boosted horse spawning to level 2. John obviously mentioning during the dialogue that he has experience in this area. That's why he was warning Albert Mason to be so careful. This is Horseshoe Overlook. This is the area where our first camp outside of being set up in Coulter up in the Grizzly Mountains. This is where our first camp was located. So we got some real memories stemming from this place. Not much else happening right now other than the main story mission in Blackwater and the bounty poster mission in Blackwater as well. The Albert Cake says, Uncle said you can buy a pre-cut house in Blackwater. That mission is called the Toolbox. And then this is once again another bounty. Might be smarter to actually do the bounty first here to make a couple bucks in case establishing this new house is going to be costly. I don't think it will be. I mean, because it's part of the story. I don't think they're necessarily going to make you pay right from your pocket. I don't know how you would get money if you didn't have enough at the time. So I wonder if we'll get to customize John's house at all, or if it's already just kind of one mold, one idea. You wouldn't think Uncle would be the one to get John kind of out of the gutter, give him a kick in the butt, and get him moving again. There's been little bits of John showing positive steps in the right direction, you know, the motivation to want to invest in a new property, to actually go out and get said new property under his name. If he wants his name to be Jim Milton, you get my drift. But, you know, we've seen some little spurts here and there of positivity for John moving in the right direction. And then we go and visit the nine graves of the people we love, and we fall back into that depressive state. We go missing for a week. Now we return, and Uncle's like, John, we gotta get a move on here. Just wouldn't have expected Uncle to be the one to give us that push. Rake Station, you know what that means. We are just about here in Blackwater. So I'm actually going to leave the bounty poster mission here and selecting our house until next time. I really wanted this to be a compact video. The next one, kind of short and sweet. The next one should be even more so, because I won't have to focus so much on taking care of myself. Actually, I'll do anything that I need to do now here before we quit in Blackwater, so that when we do start next time, we can just do the bounty poster and the new story mission. Man, it must be because I'm underweight. My cores are already drained again, and you know, I haven't slept in this stream, but I did eat and stuff, so I'm surprised at how drained they are already. So we need to make a point to eat more often, I guess. And same with my horse. My horse is already dirty, and it's probably getting hungry already too. But I guess when you're doing so much and being out all day riding around, like I have been for the last little while, the distance that we've covered has been insane. You're gonna take a lot out of you and your horse. Little off-roading there. It was a beautiful day up until I got back to the Blackwater area, and now it's suddenly got very stormy. Despite completing 2 missions in this stream, neither one of the missions that we did, Arcadia for Amateurs or the one with Uncle, was very long.
This here's a real man's game. Well, hey there. It's nice to see you again.
It's crazy how these saloons are always so dead in the daytime, and at nighttime this place is bustling. Again, good attention to detail.
You can see him reading the cards under his breath.
By Rockstar.
I'll see that bet.
Come on, let's see.
So, what's it be?
You ever play this before, friend?
Rare chicken, beans, potato gravy.
I'm sure the missions from this point out in Epilogue Part 2 are only going to get more and more involved. Although the pace in the epilogue has been much slower than what we're used to in after Chapter 6.
I hope I make it home.
I'd like a room for the night.
It's all yours, enjoy.
You know, a man as stupid as you is mighty hard to read.
Just gonna take a quick nap. We won't sleep for too long. I'll have a room here though. And then we'll be good to go next time to start. The store that we need to go to help get this new building for our property, probably not open in the evening, and a quick nap would take me to the evening, so it looks like I will actually have to sleep for a long time until morning, which I'm fine with. It's not really a big deal. I don't really get to sleep that often, so when I do sleep with my characters, I really should let them just kind of take it easy for a little bit. Guess it wouldn't hurt. Yeah, we knocked that old dilapidated cabin down. We said our farewells to Albert Mason, and we bought a new horse. I thought these missions would be a little bit more involved, but I'll take it. Some quick completion. Well, he got all cleaned up anyways. Should I change outfits? I really dig this outfit. Typical John Marston cowboy look. I don't really think we need to go too overboard. I did a lot of that with Arthur. We had quite a few outfits. Again, pretty deep customization. Oh,
Good
ladies
morning.
first. Huh, wait for it. Wait for it.
I should get back out.
Wait for
You're
it.
very kind.
Buenos dias.
Hey! Actually feeding my horse twice in the same video.
Buenos dias.
I know, amazing, isn't it? Now watch me overfeed my horse and I'll have this fat thing running around. I've struggled with weight on my characters. I don't know how much you need to eat in this game to stay at average weight, but oh man, I've always struggled being underweight. Now, I'm not as dangerously underweight now as I was. It doesn't look like it's in a critical stage right now like it was. That's good. My cores are all back up. This is a good place to stop. But again, I should try and make a point to eat and take care of things to start the next stream as well. Just a little bit. Maybe I'll just have a little snack.
Morning, sir.
See what that does. See if that helps at all. My horse should be pretty good now. Just going to clean it because it's a bit dirty as well. All of this, of course, goes towards bonding, which is good.
You're a fine horse.
Buenos dias, señor.
You are indeed a fine horse. All right, we got everything back in order. We're good to go. As soon as we fire up part 82, we can head right to make a couple bucks and then head to the hardware store. Uncle and Charles are probably wondering what the hell's taking us so long in town. Hopefully they've got that old cabin cleaned up by the time we get back. That's the least they can do. Let's be honest here, am I right? Let's see what completion we were able to accomplish after an hour and 15 minutes. We were at 83.3. Hey, 83.7, 0.4% complete. We've done worse, so I'll take it. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue to bring you this great content. Next vid should be up shortly. Shouldn't be any more week-long waits now in between videos, especially now that we're just pounding through some story missions. And we'll try and get that one to be even shorter than today. We're getting the times on these videos down. I don't want to rush them, but I want to make them a little bit easier to digest anyways. Thanks for giving me your day, and I will see you on the other side. Yeah.